strange philosophies with women. A lot of with you niggas, when y'all come with that BS, you come in with that spirit of a seducing woman. It sounds good, you know. It's very seducing. You're basically a seducing spirit. You know, you have that fair speech, and you seduce the hearts of the simple, man. You deceive the hearts of the simple. You know, you gotta be careful, man. Guys like that, man. They come with a little shtick, a code of personality. You know, you gotta stand clear of the cats, man.
This is Ecclesiasticus 8:8. Despise not the discourse of the wise, but acquaint thyself with their proverbs. For of them thou shalt learn instruction, and how to serve great men with ease. Miss not the discourse of the elders, for they also learned of their fathers.
Yep.
In them thou shalt learn understanding, and to give answers as need requireth.
Yeah. That's why they're known as elders, because they're like your spiritual parents. They're there to guide you, keep you in the right way.
What does that scripture say in last days, that they shall be disobedient to parents?
Yeah.
And the apostles and the elders those are our spiritual parents. Those are our teachers. And you know,
appointed by Yahweh outside. I'm not ashamed to say that.
Yep.
Okay.
They are the leaders of Israel on the earth today.
Those are those guys, man. Back. All right. It don't matter which ones they are, but they're them. All right.
That was it, right?
That was it on my head.
Did we ever? Were you?
I was still in
Corinthians. Go ahead. You can go back. Because we was originally talking about the Passover.
Right. Yeah.
Showing you that a lot of what these guys are doing, they're self-will.
Yeah.
You know, there's no order, man. That's all self-will.
Looking for vainglory.
You know.
I'm in verse 19. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 19. But there must be also heresies among you, which are approved may be made manifest among you.
Yep.
When ye
manifest the wolves.
Yeah.
You know, shall after my departing shall grievous wolves enter in, not sparing the flock, which shall heap unto themselves disciples after them. Well,
it says, when ye come together, therefore into one place, this is not to eat the Lord's Supper. For in eating, everyone taketh before other his own supper, and one is hungry, and the other is drunken. Keep going? Yeah, it says, what have ye not houses to eat and drink in? Or despise ye the church of the Most High, and shame them that have not? What shall I say to you? Hey, and that's you can see this guy doing that. The apostle's like, yeah, man, come on up to the upper room with us and be as one of the leaders of Israel. And what happens? Or what will probably happen? You watch his head swell up. You would clearly watch his head swell up. Okay, he looks like that type of guy. Okay, you can tell he's famished. You know where fame comes from. He's hungry for what? For stardom, for fame, for high rank. But you ain't earned it, my man. You ain't earned it. How do we know you ain't earned it? Because you don't have the wisdom to prove it, nor the works. All right. It says, for in eating, everyone. It says 22 again. It says, what have ye not houses to eat and drink in? Or despise ye the church of the Most High, and shame them that have not? What shall I say to you? Shall I praise you in this? I praise you not. For I have received of the Lord Yahweh that which is also I delivered unto you, that the Lord Yahweh Shai, the same night in which he was betrayed, took bread.
Yep.
And when he had given thanks, he brake it and said, take, eat, this is my body, which is broken for you. This do in remembrance of me.
Hey, and you know that goes to show you that.
Seriousness of the Messiah.
Yeah, it's serious, man. You know, because when we eat of the Passover, we're doing it in remembrance of Him. Remember, He's the testator of our covenant. Okay, so when we break bread, that's the Lord supping with us. He's actually working with us, man. He's having intimacy with us through the Spirit. That's how we're able to get the understanding of these scriptures. Okay. He come in the volume of the book. It is written of Him to do the will of the Father. All right. So when He say eat this bread, break the bread and eat it, for this is my body. He's saying, hey, this word, I come in the volume of this book. Eat this word, eat this word, man. Get it, digest it, understand it, and then teach it. All right? And then you got people that's actually mangling his body, man.
Right.
Mixing his body with GMO bread and chemicals and all type of, unclean shit, man.
It says, verse 25, it says, after the same manner also he took the cup which he had supped, saying, this is the cup, this cup is the New Testament in my blood.
Hey, his blood, man, and that's
happens at the
bro. When you drink that
you're
yayan,
able to come back to your house.
Yeah,
that's sacrifice. You gonna play games with that? Now anybody sipping that?
With the blood of the lamb.
Right.
You don't want to play with that, man. That blood was precious, man. He was the only one that was worthy and pure to shed it for Israel, man.
For the whole nation. And look how big the nation is. How pure is that? That they're the sand of the sea. How pure is his blood? How precious is his blood? When Israel is as the sand of the sea, they're innumerable, basically. Okay? And that was enough to atone for the sins of all the people. Yeah, very precious in the sight of the Most High. When y'all want to play games with it, Lord, gonna get drunk and just get full and shit. Yeah. That's why I said you can eat and drink at home. Yeah. Make your own lamb and play games with that. Don't come to the Posap trying to break bread with people that don't deserve.
It's not worthy.
It's not worthy.
Like any nigga, they call themselves Israel, coming to your Passover.
Hey, like
not which is holy unto the dogs.
I believe it's Matthew, the 22nd chapter, with the feast or the wedding feast, right?
Yeah.
When he said, "Hey, how'd you get in here? What happened to that guy that came into that wedding undressed?" And the people that you invite to that Passover are not fully dressed. They ain't got the proper garments on. They don't know the proper breakdowns. Okay, they don't have the proper understanding.
They're not living this. They're not living this truth. They're not, they may be a brother in Shalom and all that at camp, but they a nigga in their regular life.
In their thoughts. Still niggas in thought.
God. But everyone come in.
Right.
No. That's like Christianity.
Jake love to go eat. Hey, there's a lot of people that claim that they don't believe in Christmas and Thanksgiving that still go to people's house that they don't like to get a place.
Just to get a place,
Oh, that'd be so wicked. Take a plate and leave.
Yep, take a plate to go.
But they did that to Yahweh Shah.
Yep. They'll follow me. Because I know you follow me for the fish sandwich, man.
Yeah.
For the food.
But he knew deep down a lot of them that was following, they didn't believe.
Yep.
They didn't believe.
Off when he called them off.
Yeah, he called them off, and they all left off.
Yep.
They walked no more with him.
God bless.
The Lord, he had to sit down with a traitor at the Passover.
Yeah.
For real, how heavy is the energy in that room?
Hey.
And Judas knew at that moment. What did he say when he handed him the bread? He was like,
"He that dip
it's me?
Yeah, in the dish.
It's me. So go do what you gotta do." He was like, "Damn." Got up and walked off.
That's heavy, man.
That's heavy, bro.
And to play with that, man.
It's solemn, man. That's why it's a solemn.
It's gonna be a funny ass jokester in the Passover, man. They can't fly like that, man. Bro. You gotta be able to hold your spirit. People people that's going, and I notice a lot of people, I notice in this day and age, it seems like the more serious the times we get in, the more
folly.
Folly spirit that people birth in. Yeah, the more birth and a folly spirit
Become more
into.
nonchalant.
Yeah,
you know,
about the seriousness of the times we're coming into.
Yeah.
Well, fuck it, I just gotta do what I gotta do, and it's not like that. You gotta prepare for this in some way.
Because everyone act like you don't know what you're gonna do in that time when these things happen.
Fuck, I'm gonna get my gun and I'm gonna just no. It ain't gonna happen that way.
Anyone read 2 Peter 2 and 2 Peter 2 and 1?
No.
Hold that and finish that.
Keep going, right?
Yeah.
It says, do ye as often as ye drink it in remembrance of me. For as often as ye eat this bread and drink this cup, ye do show the Lord's death till he come.
So hey, so every time we have the Passover, it's modeled after the Passover of the Lord. You know? These other camps, what the hell are they doing? Would the Lord have been in that spirit during their Passover?
Right.
Yeah, they probably sung some hymns and stuff like that.
Right.
You know, they said their prayers, but that was a heavy time, man.
But did they who was in that supper? There's not, and I would just use the world's mentality on it. The Last Supper, who was in that photo? The little artist rendition of that. It wasn't a big group, with a crowd in the background and the head table up there. No,
the Lord and 12
small. It was real small. And like you mentioned, the betrayer was amongst them.
Yep.
It's heavy, man.
I believe they was on the run, right?
Yeah. It was getting questioned and stuff. You know this guy? Who's that guy, man? Who's that guy that called himself the king of the Jews? Who's this guy?
Yeah, they were looking for him.
Yeah.
It was like you said.
And it was our people. The same type of people you try to invite. It says, here, heavy part, 27. Wherefore, whosoever shall eat this bread and drink this cup of the Lord unworthily shall be guilty of the body and blood of the Lord Yahweh Shai. And
sure you want to drink it?
Yeah.
And you bring that up to everyone that come into this camp, and make sure you know that you're ready for this, because this is heavy.
It's heavy, man.
Now there's nothing to play.
Because you're every time you drink of the Passover, which we heard, it's like a rehearsal. We rehearse it, but every time we do that, it's like we're commemorating the contract that the Lord made with us. So basically, you're entering into the covenant through drinking of the cup, man.
You're right.
You're going to be held to the covenant. So if you that's why going back to what Hebrews the 10th chapter, where it says he that sinned willfully, get that for me. So you know what it is. You know you finally learned this truth. You know, and now at this point on, you can't look back. The moment you do that, or the moment you deviate from the doctrine, and you basically them demons get on you, them 8 demons. That's pretty much a wrap, man. Hebrews 10 and I think 26.
It's Hebrews 10 and 26. For if we sin willfully, after that we have received the knowledge of the truth, there remaineth no more sacrifices for sin.
Yeah, when you leave off from serving the Lord and you basically go back to doing your own thing, or you might still be trying to teach, but you're going totally off, and the demons are just bugging you out. You teaching all type of heresies. This is what the scripture is saying, man. You curse yourself because you put yourself under the covenant of the blood of the Lord. Go ahead.
But a certain fearful looking for of judgment and fiery indignation, which shall devour the adversaries.
That's all you got to look forward to. All right, the moment you fall away and you start doing your own thing, That's pretty much it for you, man. You know? I don't know how you Old Testament Israelites keep the Passover. Like, cause I mean, what exactly does that signify for you? Because we're not in Egypt, no, we're not in ancient Egypt. That came and went. So what are you commemorating? What do your lamb represent?
Yeah, a lamb without blemish.
Yeah. Don't tell me the lamb that you literally are eating, you account that as a significant enough sacrifice for the Lord. Yeah. Like that's clean enough. The Lord he ain't smelling that. He ain't accepting that, man. That's why when we do it to commemorate Yahweh Shai, because he's the lamb without blemish.
He's what makes it perfect to be imperfect.
Yeah.
In the law. Okay? That's why in Isaiah...
He made us perfect, you know?
Isaiah and in Amos, particularly in Amos, the Most High say he hates our feast day the way we keep it. Yep. Amos the 5th chapter, Isaiah the 1st chapter. Okay, keep going. It says, it says, but let a man examine himself, and so let him eat of the bread and drink of the cup. For he that eateth and drinketh unworthily, eateth and drinketh damnation to himself, not discerning the Lord's body. For this cause many are weak and sickly among you, and many sleep. For if we would judge ourselves, we should not be judged.
Hey, in other words, examine yourself.
Yeah.
Examine yourself whether you be in the faith, man. Examine yourself and acknowledge if this is really for you, man. Count the cost to see if you have what it takes to finish.
It's Luke chapter 14 and verse 28. For which of you, intending to build a tower, sit it not down first?
And this truth is like building a tower, man. It's a job that you gotta have vision, and you gotta have sacrifice to build it from that foundation gotta be set right, man, to build that tower. So you gotta take time and care putting this together. We're building yourself up. Okay? So you gotta get these breakdowns, you gotta get your faith right, you're gonna get the experiences, you're gonna get the trials. Okay, those are gonna come. But if your foundation ain't set, like it says in Matthew, the 13th chapter, it's gonna throw the whole thing off. You're gonna get uprooted out. Certain things gonna uproot you out this truth.
For which of you, intending to build a tower, sit it not down first and counted the cost, whether he have sufficient to finish it, lest haply,
lest you can make it to the end of this thing. Lord willing, you're chosen. Okay, if you're not setting yourself up from the beginning to endure it all the way through the end, if you just that's why when guys come in, they come to them young upstarts. They come in all fast, sprint to get to the finish. The finish line is a length of time. It's not on a length of distance, man.
This ain't a sprint, it's a marathon.
Yeah, man. Now we run hard at the end of the marathon.
this is an endurance.
Yeah, this is about endurance. It says endure all hardness as a good soldier of Yahweh.
Endure to the end.
Yep. Okay.
Lest haply, after he had laid the foundation, and is not able to finish it, all that behold it begin to mock him.
Yeah, we mock you. We gonna, just like I said, we gonna laugh at your calamity. We gonna laugh at you. You fall out for whatever silly reasons. You gonna get mocked. But the thing is, we gonna watch how the Most High destroys you with the many stripes. And that's the part that we gonna be all like, oh, you know, man. Got it right.
Verse 30, saying, this man began to build and was not able to finish.
Yeah, because all the tools, the apostles laid out all the tools, the scriptures laid out all the tools for you to finish all the way to the end. This book was perfectly put together for us to obtain salvation out of it, if you use it in its proper manner. If it's just something to reading and entertainment, just take it for that. But if you're trying to obtain salvation, if you got the fear of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai on you, You can obtain it if the teachers that are guided by Yahweh Shem Shai, if you're following their instructions. But if you follow a guy like Konaf or Konaf, whatever his name is, Tazariak saying come to the Passover, there's some leaven somewhere. There's something's off in there somewhere that's going to lead you to destruction. Right? Back real quick on this. It's pretty much close to the end. It says, a few more. For if we would judge ourselves, this is back in 1 Corinthians 11 and 31. For if we would judge ourselves, we should not be judged. But when we are judged, we are chastened of the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, that we should not be condemned with the world.
God.
We'll take the chastening not to be condemned. So take this chastening and correct it. If you don't, it's your pride. Then you'll be condemned.
That's all that is.
Yeah.
That's all it is pride, man.
We get on you so you can be, as the chastening of the Lord, so you can correct yourself, man. Through the Spirit. We bring out the precepts time and time again on how to do it, on where you're going off, correct that, and get right. We prefer to see you get right than to see you fall off. Okay? Know that about the great millstone. Okay. That we are the prime examples of tough love, man.
Open rebuke.
Open rebuke. Okay?
Hey, we're
better than secret love.
Like the elder apostle Gabar did the lesson, man. It's nothing personal. It's just business. We're strictly about our Father's business, man.
Right.
The scripture said not to be slothful in business, but fervent in the spirit. And to be fervent means to be on fire, man. That's associated with being diligent. You know, a lot of people don't like that about us, man. That's because, hey, we take it serious on another level, man. Because he entrusted us with the gospel, man. So we got to defend it. We got to protect it. You know? Hey, one thing about a dog is going to always protect the property of his owner. You know? Hey, a dog is basically a defender. If you really think about it, a dog is basically a defender. You know? We're not dogs in a negative sense. We're like actual like righteous dogs. Obedient, man.
Loyal.
Get Acts the 2nd chapter for me, real quick. Acts the 2nd chapter. It's what people just don't like about us, man. And that's why these dudes, when we get on them, you know what they do? They turn into bitches and do bitch-made shit. They start slandering you and calling you know, things out of your character, out of your name, because, you know, they can't handle correction.
And that's a big issue in our community. In all it don't matter what tribe you're from or what kingdom, north or south, that you're from. Some people don't like correction.
Yep.
You know, they take it to heart, they get emotional about it. But in this thing, you gotta be a man, right? You gotta be a man to take the correction, to be humble. But despise not the chastening of the Lord. Okay, you can't despise it. You have to appreciate it. It's really pure, faithful are the wounds of a friend. Okay, pursuing the Proverbs the 27th chapter, if I remember right there by the open rebuke chapter scripture. Okay, so we're not doing it to hurt you. We're doing it to help.
Start at start at 38 and just read that.
And then the pride, but the pride comes in that you don't like who's telling you. That's what it boils down to.
Sometimes it's younger men.
Yeah.
And then they don't want to take the rebuke.
Oftentimes
from a younger man. Even though that younger man may be older than you in the spirit.
Yeah.
Or this is Acts chapter 2, verse 38. Then Peter said unto them, repent and be baptized, every one of you, in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach, for the remission of sins, and ye shall receive the gift of the Holy Spirit. For the promise is unto you and to your children and to all that are afar off, even as many as the Lord our power shall call. And with many other words did he testify and exhort, saying, save yourselves from this untoward generation. Then they that gladly received his words were baptized, and the same day they were added unto them about 3,000 souls, and they continually steadfastly in the apostles' doctrine.
They what? They continue what?
Steadfastly in the apostles' doctrine.
They continue steadfastly in the doctrine. Meaning what? They were very attentive to it. They took care once they received it, man. You know, they adhered to it to the point of when they came up in the ranks, they started to they had to defend it against other demons that came against them for believing it.
Even their own damn people, Israelites. Because those ones in Acts, they were all over Ephesus, Corinth, and they were converting Israelites that were scattered amongst the heathens. So they may not have looked like, they might not have been growing their beards, they might have had bald heads, but through the Spirit, they were in the Spirit, the Holy Spirit was given to them, so they began to prophesy. And like I said, they had a lot of niggas that knew they was that were Jews that were keeping the commandments and stuff, but they saw them and saying the same thing. Well, nigga, who is you? You a Greek. You know,
getting the fact that they believe in the doctrine,
exactly,
which made them Israelites.
Yeah, man.
And they continue steadfastly in the apostles' doctrine and fellowship and in breaking of bread and in prayers.
Yep. That was the point. That was the point, you know. Yep.
This is Proverbs 15 and 10. Correction is grievous unto him that forsaketh the way, and he that hateth reproof shall die. That's straight to the point.
And that's
he that often
Hardness of neck.
he that is often reproved hard as neck, and that without remedy.
And that goes back
shall
to
be destroyed.
That shall be
That
destroyed,
without-
that without remedy.
and that's going back to having humility. You know, that's the meek. The elect is the meek. That's gonna take correction. That's gonna say, you were right on the doctrine. I was off. Slakia. Hey, let's continue on. Let's continue to push the word.
That's one of the first things.
Not niggas that's just gonna be in their feelings and catch feelings and harp on shit. Hey, let that shit go. If that's what it was, that's what it was. Hey, let's move on. Let's edify the elect.
If you take a whole month, or you don't show up to camp for a whole month, and then you finally come back, and then I'll be like, bro, where the fuck you been at? What was you doing?
Yeah,
And then you be like, man, bro, why you sweating me? Why you questioning me, man?
Yeah, I'm concerned.
And then you start calling me out my name and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Damn near want to fight me.
Yeah.
But
That's
you
what's
fucked up.
Yeah, I was at camp
You
all
put your hand
month.
to the plow and look
On
back.
top of that, making up lies too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
changing
Make
the
up
doctrines.
lies.
Yeah.
That's bitch made shit right there, man. Hey, what do we say about women? They can never take accountability or responsibility, man.
No reasoning.
No reasoning.
Hey, you ask a woman, why'd your last relationship fail? They'll blame everything on the man.
Yeah.
They did nothing wrong.
They'll say that about all their relationships.
all
of them. The
All
common
nine-
denominator
all
was
nine
never
of
her.
them,
It was
all
never
nine
her.
of them
Yeah.
was somebody else's
It's
fault.
never her. That's how Jake is, though. Jake is just like that,
We
man.
were raised that way now.
Yeah.
At least back in these ancient times, there was a certain way that men kind of interacted to where they took responsibility for certain things, but we didn't like it, but we took it, in the ancient world. Now, you Jakes today won't want to take nothing.
Not at all. It's
Everything
fucking
is
soft,
somebody
man.
else's fault.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, it's a lot. And the point is, we want to let you know the reason why we're in this condition is because we fucked up. We're talking about why we're in this captivity. We fucked up. Why we're scattered, because we fucked up.
Yeah.
First,
Responsibility.
yeah,
Accountability.
First Peter chapter 2, verse 19. I'm gonna start at 18. Servants, be subject to your masters with all fear, not only to the good and gentle, but also to the froward. For this is thankworthy, if a man for a conscience toward the Most High endureth grief, suffering wrongfully.
Yeah, and that's if it's wrongfully.
Yeah.
But if you are not in the if you're not in the right, then hell yeah, you need to get cussed the hell out, man. You know? It doesn't matter if I come gentle or not. I might have to come harsh on your ass, man. But at least you'll take it serious.
A lot of people don't though.
Because Jake normally don't, you know? We do this thing to pull you out of the fire. Go ahead, keep them coming.
It's Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 11. My son, despise not the chastening of the Lord, neither be weary of his correction.
Yeah. And it's a beautiful thing to be corrected, man. To be rebuked. Because that proves that somebody cares about you.
That's showing love.
Yeah.
You know?
And damn, if I'd have continued down that path, man, I'd have fucked up. Good thing that good looking out, man. Man, good looking out, man. I could have really did something wrong, you know. Or if you don't, like we could at Great Millstone, we correct doctrine too. If we allow your doctrine to be off in certain spots, by the time you get further down, it needs to meet up somewhere. It's not gonna line up. So your doctrine gonna be off.
It's
You
like-
gonna wonder where you went off.
It's like almost like you tell a lie,
Yeah.
you gotta cover it up, tell a lie to cover it up. So,
Yeah.
you know, I gotta bring. Oh, you go, come on, bro.
Verse 12. For whom the Lord loveth, he correcteth,
Paul repeated that in Hebrews 12 chapter.
even as the Father, the Son in whom he delighted.
Yeah. Yeah.
So hey, these guys, man, either they humble down, or they
Catch the wrath of the Most
you
High.
know?
Yeah.
It's one or two, man, one or the other. You know, you stay proud or you humble down. Which one is it gonna be? You know.
Normally they choose pride, man. They always choose pride.
Usually.
Reprobate silver,
Because
the Lord calls
you
it.
didn't take the time to be sure about what you was about to do.
That's actually love from Yahweh Shem Yahushai, that the apostles are trying to correct them.
Yeah.
You know, that's showing love, man.
A lot of people don't see that. It's like a badass kid that's always doing bad stuff that continues to get his ass whooped. You don't see the ass whooping as something that's helping you to correct you. You see it as, damn, I'm in trouble again. Yeah, you bad. You're a badass kid. Shit. If you act right, you wouldn't get bad shit. I gotta tell a good testimony. My sister was always kind of a bad kid. And then I was a good kid, generally. I got good grades. I did what I was told. But guess what? She would get mad. You treat us differently. My mom was like, yeah, I treat y'all differently. Well, I got good grades. You do everything I tell you, do all the stuff I tell you to do, but you can't get you to do shit. Can't get you to do your chores. You half-ass doing, you doing with your mouth poked out, attitude. So I can't treat you the same as I treat him. But that's the same thing through the Spirit. Okay? If you do the things that you're supposed to do, you wouldn't be getting chastised every turn around. If you humble down and do what you're supposed to, you wouldn't get the apostles and all the great millstone or whoever else on you making countless videos on you. Okay? If you judge yourself and stay in line according to the scriptures, you wouldn't have the other men have to correct you and judge you.
All right, so 2 Peter 2:1. But there were false prophets among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you who privily shall bring in damnable heresies.
So try to chart us off. It's a damnable heresy.
Heresy.
It's a damn doctrine that destroy our truth.
Even denying the Lord that brought them and bring upon them swift destruction.
Yeah, because if you think about it, every time that somebody brings up a doctrinal difference, it always starts to come back down to something that leads to something else bigger down the line. We haven't got another 12 tribe chart from none of the people that ever said that the 12
Everybody
tribe
that comes against
don't
it,
have
they
it,
never,
don't have one.
they don't have no explanation. And that's so like a nigga, right?
Right.
Like you always say.
I can have all the evidence in the world to prove that what you're saying isn't true, but I don't have no evidence in the world to prove what I'm saying is right.
And they always can tell, like you say, they always
That's a
tell
nigga.
us what it's not,
Well, they can't tell us what it is.
what it is.
Yeah. I like to say it like ain't. I like to use that. You can tell us what it ain't, but you can't tell us what it is. You got it.
1 Thessalonians 5:21. Prove all things, and hold fast that which is good.
And we're waiting on the proof. Maybe all of you guys that
gotta-
believe the 12 tribes off.
You gotta
need to
fill
get
that
together.
void. Since
Yeah.
you're gonna basically chop the stick in half, break it up, grind it up, whatever you're gonna do. All right, so now you gotta fill that void. Now it's on you to come up with the stick.
And don't just put names of tribes or whatever you're gonna say in there of certain people. You gotta prove it. Show us
Really?
the curses and everything that's on these people that they're going through and standing up and prophesying. All the things that's supposed to be going on, prove it.
That's a lot of.
to be
It's a
real.
lot to prove.
That's
to
a lot
be
of
real,
videos.
the fact that he went away for years to come back with this shit, he should have already came back with the sign already ready.
Right.
He should have already had it all laid out, and he should have been,
And we wouldn't even be mad at it.
yeah.
Oh, so that's what you've been doing. Okay.
Wait, so he's gonna come out with a chart and then he's gonna go to Africa and try to.
It's confusion, bro.
He's bugged out, bro. If he really had it, he would have showed up with it, you know.
Yeah, that's what they do in court. You gotta make a case. You gotta gather all your evidence together to
gotta
make
have it
that
all together.
specific case. Man.
Exactly.
You know?
Because the doctrine is set up, when you read the scriptures, it tells you, when it says, show our people the way, cry aloud, spare not, show my people their transgression and the house of Jacob their sins. When we're showing you where you're going off, we're telling you why, then we show you what you should be doing instead. When you go into the Leviticus, like using the dietary laws, it tells you what you can and can't eat, not just what you can't.
What's
So
unclean,
you know.
what's clean.
It tells you the parameters of how to know what's clean and what's unclean.
And there's consequences. You know,
Absolutely.
the people that eat abominable things. There's consequences.
Right.
Like high blood pressure. Clogged arteries.
Yeah.
Heart problems.
Yeah.
You know, there's actual evidence of
Cancer.
that certain particular food that the Most High told you not to eat.
Yeah.
You see it.
Information, yeah.
You
We
know?
see it in our people all day.
Yeah.
Mildew, like the scripture said in Curse, mildew and inflammation, man. From eating all these bad, fucked up foods. You really start getting into those things, you see that that's what's happening with cancer. Is like a mildew. It's something that's in you that grows. Bacteria almost that grows in you.
Yeah, man. So if you don't come up with if you don't come up with the solution, you're basically just scattered. You're scattering the flock, man.
Yeah.
That's basically what you're doing.
We see through that. That's what your issue is.
You know?
I wouldn't want a full kingdom. With
Ezekiel
just
37.
Israelites.
That
I wouldn't want it. If I wanted to.
this is the fulfillment of Ezekiel 37.
Yep.
You know? So really, like, come on, man. You know? The fact that who we say the 12 tribes are, they're actually coming back together.
Yep.
So, I mean, unless this is a fake fulfillment of that, maybe it's just a simulation of it. I don't know. You know? But obviously, what y'all doing isn't a fulfillment of Ezekiel 37. Y'all still trying to figure that shit out.
Trying to extend the captivity.
Yeah, kind.
Yeah,
Pretty much. The chair's gonna show up and don't nobody know nothing.
Nobody.
We still waiting on Quanaf, man.
What's up with that chart, man? Am I on there or not? Damn.
Yeah. Am I an Israelite or not, man?
What the hell we out here teaching without a stick for, man? It said when we go out to teach, we supposed to have a stick. Where your stick at, man? We need a stick. Walk around. Got
The
business
Lord
to
need
take care of.
12,000 out of each tribe, man. You know?
And they come with some of the lamest ass excuses why this is that and why this tribe is, man.
One time I even want to do skits, man. Just show the look on niggas' faces. Like, imagine the scenario, him at the house, all right, so it ain't them, you know? So it's gotta be.
They got a big ass
Igbo tribe. It's
bulletin board
Damn.
with pictures and.
Bro,
Give me Ecclesiastes 10 real quick.
the ones that did the flat Earth thing, bro. We laughed for months.
It was
on
such
that,
a
bro.
fail. It was just such a fail,
They
man.
drew the flat Earth and then tried to prove the stick with that same diagram.
10
It's too funny.
10 like
Terrible drawing, by the way. It was a terrible drawing.
and it jumped to 12.
This is Ecclesiastes 10:3. Yea, also, when he that is a fool walketh by the way, his wisdom faileth him.
Yep.
And he saith to everyone that he is a fool.
Yeah. When your wisdom fail you, basically you're a fool, man. Because what you think you're doing is profound, but really people seeing that you full of shit, man. You know, like I said, if our surf is in Africa, then I would like to see these other tribes assembling out of Africa, man. There should be some folky camps setting up pretty soon over there.
In the Congo and
Yeah.
and all over.
All over Africa.
I mean, but I thought Judah and Israel were supposed to be oppressed together in Babylon, not in Africa.
Right.
So unless Babylon is Africa now,
Okay, so let's say that Babylon is where we know real ancient Babylon to have been. Where all of them at? That's up there. You gotta show us something.
we're the
like you were
remnant of the
saying.
Israelites in Cush,
Yeah.
in Elam,
Yeah, you gotta show
in
us, man.
in Hamath,
Patros.
Pathros.
So
You
how
know?
does Africa the cup that made the whole world drink of?
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind.
It's a lot of it's gonna be a
Through the diamond industry, all right?
bro. Revelations 18. How does that apply?
How we gonna stand afar off
Yeah.
and watch that happen?
And because
when they right there?
a dead giveaway, when you go back to 2nd Ezra 13, and it talks about how that the multitude when they come over here, that basically they would actually dwell there until the latter time.
2nd Ezra 13, right?
Con.
Yeah. The 2nd Ezra.
So that means that the tribes would basically remain where they went to
Kind.
till Yahweh Shai comes back.
Kind. Till salvation.
Yeah. But according to Jeremiah 50, Judah and Israel are supposed to be oppressed together in that same place. Because Judah got brought over to
Kind. America.
where the northern kingdom came to. And we served captivity together over here. Not in Africa, right over here. Go ahead.
Want me to finish? Let me jump back to Ecclesiastes, or just go jump right here.
No, since we brought it out, just get it real quick.
Ecclesiastes.
You can go back to Ecclesiastes after this.
2nd Ezra chapter 13. We read all of it, or just that point? 39. And
Yeah,
whereas thou
yeah.
sawest that he gathered another peaceable multitude unto him, those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoner out of their own land in the time of Hosea,
Hosea, yeah.
the king,
Yep.
whom Salmanassar, the king of Assyria, led away captive.
We're talking about the northern
And he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land.
Just carried them over the water. That's clear cut right there.
They carried them over. You had the there's 2 rivers over there.
Euphrates and Tigris.
You got the Euphrates, and then there's another like a smaller river.
Damn.
I
Pishon?
think it's called the Habor.
Okay.
I think it's a Habor or something like that.
Genesis.
But they have to go over a body of water to get over there, and then you
Get out
have
to the
the
ocean.
river Euphrates.
And then out to
You
the
know?
ocean.
Go ahead.
And he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land. But they took this counsel amongst themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a farther country where never mankind dwelt.
Hold on. Was that a point that you were making? They will leave the multitude.
No, that ain't even
of
the
heathen.
point.
That's not the point.
That ain't even the point.
Leave the multitude of the heathen. There's plenty of heathen in Africa.
Yeah. Majority heathen.
Throughout the whole
Man.
known
world.
world, the whole Eastern world was inhabited.
Yeah.
All of the eastern world was inhabited. They basically the Lord spread it them out.
This had to be the land where never mankind dwelt.
It has to.
The Lord divided.
Because who else was on? When Columbus, like it, bro. When Columbus got here, who else was here? I'm talking about, you know, using the world's more knowledge about it. When he got here, only the natives and the Hispanics were here. There was nobody else here. Where are the heathen that were here?
Yeah.
You know? These are simple things. And I'm using man's wisdom.
Common sense.
American school. Common sense.
Even that devil recognized this side of the world, this part of the world, as arsenal.
Even so-called Jew puts it in their encyclopedia, Assyria, America. All right, verse 42. That they might there keep their statues, which they never kept in their own land. And they entered into Euphrates.
But then you think about why. Because they were so caught up in the idols of the heathen.
Yeah.
They were so influenced. So they're like, if we get away from everybody, we can do this. But they were already tainted by all of the energies of the idols and the other heathens.
You don't think that some of them heathens went along with them and brought idols probably?
Hey, to a certain
I
extent,
think Jake probably put them idols in the shit.
Probably.
Just snuck them on.
to a certain extent, they were keeping the traditions and some of the commandments, the laws.
Yeah.
You know? But
Even to this day, they keep a few of them. Like in like some of the Northern Kingdom tribes, they still eat lamb certain times a year, or goat. They still eat those things sometimes.
Bro, Northern Kingdom, they cook up the lamb like.
Yeah.
They be
Cook it up.
They be cooking up the lamb, bro. Good.
Yeah. More than the Southern Kingdom.
We be
A
cooking
lot
up
of Southern
that
Kingdom
lamb, bro.
don't. The Southern Kingdom don't really fuck with it. It's too gamey for them.
Lamb is like.
Yeah, man.
Let's continue, brothers.
That they might keep their statues, which they never kept in their own land. And they entered into the Euphrates by the narrow passage of the river. For the Most High then showed signs for them.
Okay, so they entered into the body of water, which the river Euphrates is a mighty river. You know, that was one of a trade route, you know, where they can actually come through there and deliver goods through that river. Just like over here in America, you got the Mississippi River. That's a mighty river here in America. You could fit cargo ships through the Mississippi River. Okay. That's a big body of water, man. You know. So they entered into it because they was able to build vessels that would be strong enough to carry them and have that journey over here to this side of the world. If they only went to Africa, it damn sure, and the scriptures get ready to tell you, it damn sure wouldn't have took no year and a half to do it, man.
Especially not by water.
Not hell no.
They could have walked there.
Less than a year and a half.
We always say about the Holocaust and you know, about the Deuteronomy 28:68. All right, back to this. And they entered into Euphrates by the narrow passage of the river, for the Most High then showed signs for them, and held still the flood till they were passed over.
Go ahead.
For through that country there was a great way to go, namely a year and a half, and the same region is called Assyria.
Yep.
Then dwelt they until the latter times.
Then what?
Then dwelt they until the latter times.
So they dwelt there until the latter times, man.
In the latter times.
Hey, going back to was that Genesis 49? What was befall you in the latter days?
Latter days. Yep.
So he broke it down to each tribe what they were gonna do, you know, in the latter day. You know.